Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Wednesday, October 12th, 2022. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Happy Hump Day, everyone. Here's a look at the ES in the daily time frame. Right now, narrow range going into the RTH Open, just 37% of average range right now. Inside day at the moment. You can see here a little bit of a doji-like bar developing inside the previous session's range. We have 2 days of narrow price action, Monday and Tuesday, and now we have our third day developing here as we head into the rest of the week. Again, the market awaiting inflation data. CPI comes out prior to the RTH Open tomorrow morning, Thursday morning, 1 hour prior to the RTH Open. So here you can see how narrow this 3-day range is, 48.7% of average, with the potential to see as much as 220 points on a breakout move. So again, this market developing right now and building energy ahead of Thursday's inflation data. Keep in mind the overall trend is still to the downside. We still remain bearish. Here's the 3-day narrow range at the bottom of the current trend here in this current move. Again, even if we were to rally, that could be an opportunity to look for some sort of failure and a continuation downward. Remember, 3600 here is the key CLVN. That's a big market structure edge there. A failure there, and you start to open up those medium-term downside targets, which could take you down to 3360 and down to 3075. So very soon here, we could be looking at a violation and a continuation toward that 3360. That could be a target that's reached sometime within the next 1 to 2 weeks, and if we get a break very soon, it could be there within 5 days. If we take a look here at the NQ also trading 37% of average range heading into the RTH Open, also an inside day against the previous session's range. We also have a narrow 3-day range developing, as you can see down here, 55% of average right now, with the potential to see movement somewhere between 650 and 800 points on a 3-day breakout basis. So 800 points of potential breakout movement here from this 3-day range. Again, we still have some time to build out here over the next day. We could trade as high as 2 days ago. We can trade as low as a couple of days ago and still be in a narrow 3-day range, building energy for a potential breakout move. Perhaps we're already starting to see some initial break here, 11K, kind of that big level right here, and a failure there starts to open up the downside targets, which takes you very close to the 10,000 level, and then down here into 9,200. Those could be the next 2 major downside targets if we get a big break very soon. So again, narrow range of price action right now, 3-day narrow range, inside day, downward trending. And even if we were to see a little bit of a bounce, again, this downward trend here in the bearish Pima trigger zone likely sees another round of selling pressure for new lows. So again, right now, building energy for a potential breakout move up ahead, likely on CPI data 1 hour prior to the RTH Open tomorrow. If we take a look here at crude oil, right now crude oil down about 1%. This one pulling back. We had a big time rally here. This was one of the better rallies in a while. 76 back to 94 basically, and now we're seeing a hard rejection here, very similar to what we've seen a couple of other times. Is this enough to start pushing us back down, or can this market find a higher low? If it can find a higher low here in the 86, 87 level, perhaps we can finish this move to the top of the recent market structure at about 97s. We also have composite VWAP up here. We have the 200-day moving average and the July FOMC key level. So a confluence of potential targets up above, but we have to be able to find a higher low first. Instead, as of right now, we have a directionally bearish market over the last 3 sessions. Broke down in the previous session, and here failing at the midpoint of the prior day and turning back down. That could lead to another round of weakness ahead. So as this market drops into this zone, can we find some sort of rejection that leads us higher? If not, we could be looking at another round of new lows ahead. All right, let's take a look here at Bitcoin. Bitcoin right now turning down off the midpoint of the previous month's range. This is the midpoint of the previous month's range right here. Price rallied into that zone and has seen initial signs of rejection with a modest rotation back down. Again, overall, this market has not really found acceptance above 20,000 lately, above 22, above 23, 25, each of those levels finding rejections on the way down, and we're very close here to perhaps getting a big time test at 18K. Remember, 18K here, a transition day could start dropping us into 15 or maybe even 12K down below, so watch that 18K level very closely. ETH continues to build a narrow range around 1300. This also forming at the bottom of a recent down move here. Again, breakout from this narrow range could trigger the next 200 to 300 point move at the very least. Above 1400 opens up maybe 1800 or perhaps a bit higher. But any downside break here and you're testing the lows of the year back toward 1000. All right, that is it for now. We'll see how this plays out heading into the rest of the session. Good luck, trade well, and I'll see you in the trading room. Take care.